Yesterday, I went out to get some pictures of this really nice area with a pond and a couple of trees, a tree on the pond shoreline. And, you know, I like the composition of what I got, but to be honest, when I went into post in Lightroom, wasn't really pleased with how everything turned out. It wasn't as sharp as I would have liked. And I think that was probably due to the fact that I was shooting in f2.8, so my aperture was wide open. And when shooting landscape, you know, really you don't want to shoot such a wide open aperture unless you're like shooting, you know, something more direct. Like you're shooting one tree that is sort of isolated in the center of a place with a background that's pretty far away. But I was not shooting that. I was shooting more like a whole, you know, collaboration of a pond, two trees, and then there was a background. So the trees that I was shooting did not end up being very sharp, and, you know, actually it ended up looking like a painting more than a photograph, which in of itself is creative and artistic looking, but that wasn't my intention. So here I am about to go and get some more shots, and possibly some other shots if I see something along the way that I like. So let's see. Alright, so here I am going to get those photos that I was talking about. You know, North Carolina, around this area and many other areas, have nice scenery. A lot of things are still pretty natural around here. I mean, there are city areas like Raleigh and Charlotte and all sorts of other areas, but there is still so much untouched land around here, aside from like maybe some housing development. But there's a lot of forest around here, you know, just giant areas that are covered with trees. So that's today what I'm just going to get some more pictures. Like I said yesterday, my pictures just were not pleasing to me. I just wasn't pleased with it, you know. But here I am, got my camera again. It's a Canon 7D, which I hope to soon get like a 5D Mark II or something like that, and eventually get a 1DX Mark II. Those are my aspirations for the future, but until then, I have this with a Tamron 24-70. I should probably get a 780-200, but this right here isn't even actually my lens. So, you know, until that time. Alright, so I went and got some more photos, and I think they came out much better. I shot at, I think, f8 this time instead of f2.8, and I think they turned out way better, much sharper. So, hopefully, when I get home, I'll get a better quality edit than having photos that look more like paintings, you know. Photos that look like paintings are okay, but, you know, that was not my intention. I want my photos to look legitimately like a photo of a landscape in fall time. So here I am back in the truck. I really enjoy looking at the scenery, you know. In the Bible, in Genesis, it tells us that the trees were good to look upon, like they're pleasing to the sight, and I believe that. One of my favorite trees to look at is an oak tree. I just don't even know, like, oak trees are just so beautiful. They have such a look to them. And usually I call them yard trees because they're in a lot of yards. But they're such a nice tree. Just they're very strong looking. I mean, you can build tree houses in them easily. And, you know, God created all of this for us to enjoy it. He created all things. He has given us all things to enjoy. We get so caught up in all these man-made inventions. And some of the man-made inventions are okay, they're good, you know, they help us do things. Like, I wouldn't be able to make this video without this invention. But the things that God has created are so much more majestic. Like, a man could never even scratch the surface of what God has created. I mean, God has made us in His image and His likeness to be creative, and we humans can do some massive things. Human beings can create some amazing things, but still, like I said, it doesn't even scratch the surface. And besides, we can't create anything out of nothing. Everything that is created out of something that God created already. Like wood from trees. Create a lot of things. You can make a lot of things with the wood from trees. And God allows us to do that, you know, but we must glorify the Lord in whatever we do. The earth is not ours. The earth is the Lord's, but, you know, it says the meek shall inherit the earth. We inherit the earth if we follow after the Lord Jesus, you know. So, it's just something to think on. Just the beauty of what God has created and has allowed us to create with the things He has created. Even on the cellular, molecular, just atomic levels, everything's God. Everything is God. Down to that very core, elementary foundation, it was created by God. There is nothing in creation that God did not create, down to the core level. So everything created is created by what God already created. So I don't know, the Lord is just amazing in what He does. Even the color changing of the leaves. I mean, scientifically, biologically, we can say, okay, because it's dying, certain chemical reactions are happening and the leaves are changing colors. But really, God planned it that way. The science behind it is also God. Everything about it is God. And it obeys. It does what He commanded it to do. You plant the seed, it sprouts. I mean, granted, we live in a fallen world, so not everything happens perfectly like it should. But for the most part, everything happens as it should. Sowing and reaping, you know? It's all there. All of it. I may talk about that in another video, sowing and reaping. But God is just amazing. You know, the light source that we use mostly is the sun. The sun is the main light source. We can't manipulate it. We can use things to manipulate what we are doing, but we can't manipulate the actual sun. We can't turn it down or turn it up. It is always what it is. Like I said, we can use things to maybe obstruct it, but we're not manipulating the actual source. Like a light bulb, we have a dimmer switch, we can turn the brightness of it down, or, you know, whatever click on the lamp allows us to go up to, you know, from 60 to 100 watts. It's just amazing. Praise the Lord. God bless you all.